Well, hello there, once again, brothers and sisters. Messenger, Christopher, Spirit World X, the Chosen One. I want to welcome you again to the final shift clips of the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show, brought to you by the High and Mighty High Council of the Order of the Crystal Keys, the Most High Division of our Authentic Trinities, most very powerful division of angels. Well, once again, here we are, and of course, as I told you, I wouldn't let you down. Can't do that. You're too special. And now I would like to share a little bit of information with you in regards to just how very special you are. Recently, I was talking to a friend of mine who was complaining about how her body's falling apart and how her teeth are, she's losing the strength of her teeth. And I mean, for goodness sake, her body's, of course, experienced about 67, evolutions of the planet around the sun. So, the body has to end. And, she just gave me some great inspiration to decide to add something to this Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show upload. And what I want to do is I want to show you, of course, what I will be reading from. You see all that, brothers and sisters? Of course, that's all the information that I'm going to provide you with at this moment. And now this information goes to two conscious collectives. That would be the Jew, which is my melanated nuclear family, the African continent, Africans abroad, and of course the diaspora here in the belly of the beast, which we call America. And of course the Gentile, you Gentiles who, of course, have the duty of rebalancing the frequency of electromagnetic potential existing in the Jews, thereby having the capacity to exist with us in our Jewish co-created matrix program. This goes out to the high and the low vibrational aspect of the Gentile yin conscious. Of course, yang would be assigned to the Jewish melanated two-tiered nuclear family. Two-tiered meaning two levels of conscious awareness and electromagnetic manifest, the same electromagnetic manifest power. The men and the women, those yang conscious Jews, and you yin conscious Gentiles who have a high vibrational aspect belonging to the women, and of course the low vibrational aspect belonging to the men. Of the yin conscious fail-safe protocol rebalancing all Gentile conscious control, meaning the Europeans, Asians, Arabs, and Indians, okay, and what have you. So I want all of you to pay very close attention to what you're about to hear. Record what you are hearing so that you can later on re-listen to it and gain a better foothold on the present conditions of your and our reality in this matrix program at this time. So I will start with this here. Okay, this page. To those who control, those who are in control of FEMA, the World Health Organization. I'm sorry, my papers are blowing everywhere with the wind, so I need to collect them again. Now, just pay attention to what you're hearing. Don't pay much attention to what you're seeing. Pay attention to what you're hearing, and remember, also, before I go on, I want all of you brothers and sisters to go through social media and, of course, the internet. And after hearing what I'm about to say, what I'd like you to do is pay close attention to the media and television, individual production studios who are working to achieve the great deception. That means the hijacking of this redemption process by taking all of the information that I am providing you and putting it into their own videos. And in those videos, for instance, Gaia would be a network that you would certainly want to pay attention to, because Gaia is a part of the hijacking of this redemption process fiasco. So I want you to pay attention to them and other content creators, such as the ones I've previously exposed. And also, I cannot remember the individual's name. I just made a video about him the other day, and in his videos, he, of course, puts date and time stamps on his videos as if they were made 10 years ago. He's a European gentleman, no differently than Stephen Darby Ministries, Reno, and of course Reno recently, just today, came out with a video exclusively for me, and his thumbnail reads, "The real reason why they laugh at you." And in his video, by the way, I want you to know that this guy is totally out of his mind if he feels he's going to bring me to confusion or a place where I feel I just must be crazy. That's not going to happen, Reno. I really believe, brothers and sisters, that this video, and you can look it up on YouTube yourselves, just type in the real reason why they laugh at you, Reno. That's K.RENO, and you'll have an opportunity to surmise what I'm kind of surmising, and that is, I believe that this is a white flag event. He's flying his white flag, and I believe he's flying that white flag as a result of realizing that he has certainly barked up the wrong tree, as all of the rest of you are and have. All of you, like Stephen Darby Ministries, Rashad Jamal, Young Pharaoh, Louis Farrakhan, all of you individuals working, and of course our Congress. Our Congress is also involved, and the presidential electorates are also involved. As I told you earlier in the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show video compilation, that Joe Biden was certainly involved in hijacking this redemption process, and all of the individuals who are presently attempting to influence you to believe that they're authentic and they have your best interest at heart. They do not have your best interest at heart. And of course, all these individuals are part of the 1% collective who control our present transgenerational currency system, okay? They've been exchanging wealth from one low vibrational yin conscious man to the other for the past several centuries. And it's time, as of course you and I both know, the end of the age of the Gentile was long ago written. as a result of the duty of the Gentile having one day having to come to an end with the rebalancing of the frequency of the Jewish conscious collective, and I am the product of that. Now, what I'm about to read to you is certainly just an excerpt from what you are about to be exposed to in regards to the truth, in respect to who you are, where you are, and how you should be functioning. This is going to trigger a lot of you. It's going to be very eye-opening, and don't forget, there's more. And the more that has yet to be exposed to you, brothers and sisters, is equally just as mind-blowing. So, let's read on. Here we go. Okay. I was going ahead too fast. Okay. So, brothers and sisters, those in present control of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the World Health Organization, the migration issue into America, and those in control of our identity and our, of course, low vibrational electrochemical magnetic reality narrative, who survive off of forced corruption of our collective two-tiered yang conscious identity and our interdimensional electrochemical magnetic reality. And of course, this is alluding to the World Christ conscious community of the three-divisional trinity electrochemical magnetic radio frequency spectrum, the organization that will change the world. Of course, this line, of course, allows you to have an opportunity to know why we call spectrum the name that we do call spectrum. Okay, so these individuals who control our electrochemical magnetic reality, they presently have us all in a conundrum. And that conundrum is a conundrum where we do not know who to trust and who to give our energy to. But, brothers and sisters, it is us who carry the greatest degree, the greatest share of responsibility. All right? Now, within our electrochemical magnetic reality, we exist negatively electromagnetically magnetized, okay, by being spiritually imbalanced. In other words, not being conditioned to the truth of our being spirits traveling through finite avatars, conditioned to champion physical health and sensory stimulation by 5 sensory stimulation conditioning. Did I say that right? Or, I'm sorry. Conditioned to champion our physical health, our physical appearance, and our sensory pleasures by 5 sensory stimulation conditioning, and having no awareness of our true electromagnetic mental health or any control over how it exists, told by individuals we give our faith to when we watch television shows, when we, of course, watch corporate advertisements in regards to products that we may buy online or on off television, told to let go and let others who have been assigned. Let me read that over, okay? Please forgive me. This stuff is very, very, it's very deep, okay? And it takes a lot to re-edit all of this stuff after it is given to me, and I do the best that I can to put it all in an orderly fashion that you'll be able to understand. However, it is not easy, and please bear with me for that reason. Okay? Okay. So, conditioned to champion physical health, sensual pleasure by 5 sensory stimulation conditioning, and having no awareness of our true electromagnetic mental health or any control over how it exists, told to instead let others who have been assigned to the task. Now, these others, of course, brothers and sisters, are corporate funded doctors, nurses, psychologists who have been, of course, put in place to manage our psychological issues, okay? Who've been assigned to the task of taking care of that aspect of us. As long as we look good and smell good, we are good, these individuals believe. And as I said a moment ago, we are responsible for the greater share of our issues, brothers and sisters. Okay, complaining about our bodies, for instance, going back to my friend I spoke to recently, complaining about our body falling apart, our teeth falling out, ending with no interdimensional knowledge of who we are, how we in this matrix, by activation of electromagnetic conversion, exist. Okay? Our avatars, brothers and sisters, are not meant to last forever. We, on the other hand, are infinite. Okay? And just for your information, sex is for procreation, or, i.e., the advance of your electromagnetic conversion frequency collective. Without this knowledge, the value of the yang conscious controlled mind, the yang conscious collective mind, over time degrades and immorality reigns. Okay? So, remember, our avatars are not meant to last forever. And with limited knowledge on who we are, where we are, what we do is we go off and listen to the paid misguidance of TV actors telling us, you look amazing. Eat this with that, and that with this. And because we only care about what we, by 5 sensory stimulation conditioning and 3-dimensional programming, care about, we end up making our bodies sick. And we do what those who have us in dysfunction in identity, value, worth, desired us to do when they created our psycho-socioeconomic, geopolitical, health, and religious and food systems. We go to the doctor, and the doctor gives us a pill made of chemical compounds that we should have in our body. And these compounds are exclusively made of plants. Of course, now they are creating synthetic chemicals and inducing us getting us to indulge in the induction into our systems of these chemicals. We then go back to complaining to each other, wasting each other's time, and consuming the very only things that we have faith in. Brothers and sisters, their manipulation is subtle, but it's sadistic. Like they tell you the foundation of your identity is your body, and they set up a church schedule with a false Christ church narrative where you get an understanding of our spiritual existence from a third eye blind, inverted level of perception. Now remember, the Gentiles are external electrochemical automated low vibrational reflections. Electrochemical, that means spirit and body, or mind and body, reflections of the melanated or the black people's internal, because the spirit existing behind the flesh of melanated people is infinite. So they are and have been external electrochemical automated low vibrational reflections of our melanated, black, African, whatever you want to call yourself, internal electromagnetic misalignment by three-dimensional conscious awareness and, of course, five sensory perception, having long ago given up on our nine-dimensional or nine-ether interdimensional conscious awareness and seven sensory perception, where we're intuitive, we have discernment, and of course our psychic abilities are heightened by the proper education of ourselves. Okay, so like they tell you that the foundation of your identity, brothers and sisters, is your body, and set up a church schedule. Okay, they also tell you that the foundation of your diet is meat, and they schedule a side dish of mixed vegetables. Okay, brothers and sisters, it's very unfortunate what we're presently dealing with. Okay, meanwhile, while we go along with their schedules, our pre-programmed natural capacity to unify and manifest fades. Okay, manifest the pre-programmed atmospheric conditions that would facilitate a high vibrational upper world electromagnetic conscious conversion out of these low vibrational avatars we're in and into the ones that we should be in. Okay, also what happens is our pre-programmed environment, the pre-programmed environment of our infinite conversion program, of course, it degrades. Okay, let's see what that says. We emotionally amplified are in truth insecure. We're empty inside, emotionally unstable, chemically dependent, and chemically dependent upon all of the wrong things. Okay, we are animals, if you will. Even the animal kingdom, who should naturally attract to our presence and trust us, instead they fear our presence by the degree of our unnatural five sensory level of perception, our degree of irresponsibility by that level of perception, which is actually theirs and not ours. Think about Yeshua in the Bible and how it was when Yeshua went to cast the mental problems or the demons out of the flesh of the individuals who he was presently or at that time dealing with. And they asked him if they could go into the animals. Now, why do you think they asked him, according to the Gentiles who gave us this information? Why do you think they asked him to go into the animals, brothers and sisters? The answer is, they had the same level of perception that the majority, that the 99% who've been conditioned with three-dimensional conscious awareness and five sensory stimulation conditioning exist with. And that should go to let you know how I don't want to say much of a demon you people are, but I will say unconscious of who you are and how you should be functioning in this, your co-created matrix program. Okay, now let's go on. Now, just as we cage the beast for our emotional stability, we have birds in cages, lions, tigers, bears, all of these wonderful creations that are meant to contribute to the cycle of life, the natural cycle of infinite electromagnetic conscious awareness and potential, whether that be the electromagnetic potential of the Jew, male or female, the high or low vibrational aspects existing behind their bodies, or the electromagnetic non-yang but yin contributive conscious potential of the beast. We are certainly imprisoned, and we imprison animals for our emotional stability. Now, just as we do that, we spirit beings are also caged in a third eye blind prison of emotional instability. Okay? We spirit beings are also caged in a third eye blind prison of emotional stability. Now, this imprisonment is in accordance with a low vibrational yin conscious conspiracy to hijack an age-old rebalancing protocol purposed to realign the electromagnetic yang co-creative Christ conscious nine-dimensional vibrational frequency and seventh sensory perception of the Jew by the Gentile for the purpose of negative energy transfer and low vibrational yin conscious dominance. Okay, and no longer for the purpose of restoring us electromagnetic beings back to balance. Okay, consider. Okay, back to balance. And this can be, this imprisonment can be translated as for their physical survival, for their emotional stability, and for yin conscious, low vibrational aspect of the yin conscious collective amusement. Consider, brothers and sisters, the proliferation of state-sanctioned, these are just examples, okay, of how these individuals imprison our minds for their amusement. Consider the proliferation of state-sanctioned criminal drug gangs, okay? The criminal drug seeding in our communities. Okay, then you and I have gotten used to saying, well, you have to have an economy, and that's just part of the economy. And, well, those who have dropped those seeds of deception into our minds were sent to drop those seeds of deception into our minds so that we can continue on third eye blind as we have been, okay? Consider Joe Biden, okay, stating a few years ago when the topic of your children being taught that it's okay to run through the streets with men, drag queens, individuals who are totally in alignment with the inversion of the high and low vibrational frequencies that exist in the yang conscious, male and female, and of course the high vibrational aspect of the yin conscious collective, the female. It's okay to run around believing that gender doesn't exist. And as Joe Biden stated, when the conversation of what's really going on came up, Joe Biden stated that we own your children, not you. Now, of course, you can go look that up yourselves. Do your research. brothers and sisters, they control you. The reason he said that is because they control you and your children's 5 sensory only level of conscious awareness, okay? And the corruption of your mind, okay? Consider human trafficking. You have a lot of members of Congress and the government who have been friends with this Epstein gentleman, who has been, of course, they say, taken to jail for child trafficking, human trafficking. And of course, you know that when these people go to jail, it's only to calm down the fires that have been created in media about the function of these people in our government and the goings-on of their coming together. For instance, when they all come together, whether they are presidents who are no longer in office or presidents who are presently involved in so-called running the country, whether it's clergymen, whether it are individuals who, of course, are heads of the Masonic orders out there, whether it's the head of Skull and Bones and those who manage and control education, the educational system. These individuals, it's no different than these individuals going out to Bohemian Grove and participating in the consecration of care ceremonies. Now, why do you think these individuals call it consecration of care? Because they are all involved in degrading human conscious awareness and the value of your electromagnetic manifest potential. All right? But anyways, to get back to what I was saying, don't believe these individuals are going to prison. These individuals are brought in the front door and let right out of the back door. Of course, brothers and sisters, they are certainly not going, they're not going down, they're not getting killed in prison. None of the stuff that you're hearing is true. All right? The only individuals who truly do go to prison are individuals who are mentally imprisoned, and of course not in alignment with the agenda to degrade human conscious awareness, and they're sent to prison so that quotas can be made, okay? So that the public doesn't go, wait a minute, why is there so much crime just being allowed to exist in our society? All right? Now, to go on, consider sex slavery. These are issues that we are inundated with, and they must be addressed. All right? They're going to be addressed by you and I, brothers and sisters, after we gain the necessary knowledge, to which I am presently attempting to assure that you have, okay? Yin energy controlled human conscious yang energy degrade agenda for yang to yin negative energy transfer. That's what we're going to discuss now. Why won't France, etc., allow you, brothers and sisters over in Africa, to have your own currency, okay? To have your own currency system. And why are they committed to giving you loans to buy food that is literally grown right under your feet in Africa? Are your leaders just ignorant of their responsibility to ensure you are self-sustained? Or is their ability to do so blocked for other purposes, like the degrade agenda that I am speaking of? What is the purpose of blacks living within the context of projects? Okay. Let's see here. Projects that are ruled by Europeans, controlled by the low vibrational aspect of the yin conscious collective conscious control, who have hijacked our rebalancing process nonetheless, okay? Why are blacks in America forced to live by these European projects? And what is a project? Our system is a project, brothers and sisters, okay? Black men especially must be kept in a situation, and of course, European women, being the high vibrational yin conscious aspect of the yin conscious third eye blind collective, having counterbalancing power, okay, must be kept in a situation where their misidentity, their three-dimensional conscious awareness is locked in, okay? This is why in the case of European women, they make sure that when it comes to your fashion, you are wearing nothing more than tight clothes that accentuate your flesh, okay, your flesh identity. And of course, now it's gone into even men wearing the tight clothes now for the purpose of doing the same thing, all right? But in the case of melanated men and women, they do the same thing. But black men especially, they have to make sure that your three-dimensional conscious awareness, okay, is locked in, okay? Unaware of their infinite electromagnetic matrix status, electromagnetic power, and Jewish identity. Their survival and reputation as a boss nigga, a stand-up person, integral part of the community, and they have to do this for the survival of the yin conscious. This must be one that is had. Wait a minute. Let me read that again. Their survival, your three-dimensional conscious awareness must be locked in. Okay? Their survival, meaning your survival, and reputation as a boss nigga, a stand-up person for the survival of the yin conscious must be one that is had by any means necessary. This is why the European keeps black unemployment high, funds black targeted media, seeds gangs and drugs to maintain a long ago activated by the low vibrational aspect of the yang. That means the yang, co-creative Christ conscious frequency, who are the original antichrists, blood sacrifice agenda, running parallel presently to the project narrative the blacks are, of course, forced into, and the institutions running parallel as an institution, as the agricultural institution, okay? I'm sure you understood what I was saying, okay? Don't give them chicken and animal products, okay? That is pizza, milk, I'm sorry, I'm a little lost on what I wrote there, okay? Don't give them animal products, pizza, milk, advertise it to them, okay? All animal products. Those can advertise it to them, okay? Oh boy, I'm sorry, I kind of got lost there. And we're going to go here to the next page. Now, prior to Gentile hegemony, the seventh sensory electromagnetic conversion reincarnating co-creative Christ Yang conscious collective existing behind the flesh of so-called Africans, blacks. Prior to that, the collective existed to do all they could to maintain optimal function of their infinite electromagnetic mind, their finite avatar gene pools. That is, they were eating proper diets for optimal electromagnetic rebirth, optimal opportunities into reincarnating into high vibrational avatar sets. Then their focus changed to being defined by them, which, of course, shifted our identity, our survival, and our, which shifted electromagnetically our identity and survival paradigm to negative. Okay? The purpose for the Gentile coming out of the genes, out of Jewish genes, setting up a class, caste, psycho-socio, geopolitical, religious, and judicial system was to, by negative transfer of energy over time, rebalance the Jewish Yang co-creative Christ conscious frequency collective through negative pressure of them being nine-dimensional, conscious, aware, seventh sensory in perception beings, desiring only three-dimensional, third eye blind, five sensory perception, conscious awareness and definition within an external yin conscious controlled environment. Okay. The yin conscious knew that struggle would create yearning, and yearning would create amplified negative energy transfer. Negative energy transfer compounds to Gentile negative pressure capacity to rebalance the yang frequency through greater world coverage by colonialism. Okay, I hope you understood that. The greater coverage of the world of the colonial third eye blind Gentile way, of course, allowed for melanated people all over the planet, whether first world or third world, would have an opportunity to rebalance, okay? Within the Yang conscious, co-creative Christ conscious collective, will be separated by that negative pressure from the tear, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me, okay? So let me go back to the rebalancing that I was just talking about of the Yang conscious worldwide, okay? So after that rebalancing, then the wheat that the Bible speaks about, the wheat and the tare, then the wheat would appear, okay? The wheat within the Yang conscious, co-creative, Christ conscious collective will be separated by that negative pressure from the tare. Now, brothers and sisters, I am presently the wheat. By conscious realignment with our interdimensional seventh sensory perception, Yang co-creative Christ conscious collective matrix trinity electromagnetic conversion standard. While unfortunately you, the 99%, whether Jew or Gentile, you are unfortunately the tares. Okay? By the way, I want to take a moment to talk about dating and association. There are many of you who are closer to being wheat than you are tares, but you are inundated with conditioning and programming that can only lead you and your next generation into continuing to be the tare. In so doing, maintaining the present curse that these individuals are attempting to hijack this redemption process so as to maintain, okay? Now, before you indulge in acknowledging the flesh of a person, whether symmetrical or non-symmetrical in features, remember that looks and flesh, whether young or aged, are finite, while the identity of the person is immortal. This is why it is important and necessary for the purpose of maintaining high vibrational electromagnetic manifest potential that you first acknowledge their perception capacity and ability to discern beyond the three-dimensional field. If the three-dimensional in awareness and five sensory in perception, three-dimensional in awareness and five sensory in perception, brothers and sisters, there are no more than the walking dead. Okay? Yin or yang tares. All right? Okay. Now, a tear is an unconscious Jew, is synonymous with the walking dead, third eye blind Gentile. Both are tares in that they thrive off of the destruction and corruption of the spiritually unaware. They destroy the mind of people and animals to eventually destroy the earth. At a time when we, the Yang co-creative Christ conscious, worked and traded our necessary sustainable resources with each other. Okay, and now what I'm talking about now, brothers and sisters, I want to get back to what I just read to you on the last page before I started talking about relationships and associations. All right, so at a time, this was prior to the Gentiles, of course, coming out of our genetics. At a time when the Yang co-creative Christ conscious worked and created and traded our necessary sustainable resources with each other, resources in the form of inventions that were geared towards sustaining all 9-dimensional, 7-sensory, infinite, and 3-dimensional, 5-sensory, aware, lesser conscious contributions, participating in natural pre-programmed balance of forces that allowed for our matrix creation program to thrive, manifesting by our stable divine feminine collective unemotional mind and or upper creation world chemical conversion conditions. The antichrist conscious aspect, despite the negative consequences, negative karma by negative energy transmittance, existing self-absorbed by finite definition with every reincarnating cycle of our invisible yet. With every reincarnating, despite the consequences, with every reincarnating cycle of our invisible yet powerful electromagnetic co-creative Christ conscious collective diminished cognitive, emotional stability, environmental collapse, emotional instability in animals, they came up with a 5-sensory stimulation finite flesh definition experiment where we, through our reincarnation portal, through sex, got lost in the superficial science of finite physical beauty. Okay, we got caught up in the biological sciences and gene manipulation. And of course, we also decided we were going to advance the control of human beings once we reincarnated by creating the concept of independence and free will. And this is where you have the eugenics programs that the Gentiles, of course, they in the past and probably are at present engaging in. And of course, the do as thou wilt ideas of the satanic church, okay? But first, brothers and sisters, before they knew all these consequences would come on, they had to disrupt the natural electromagnetic order of our collective co-creative Christ conscious degrade human conscious interdimensional 9-dimensional awareness, okay? They had to degrade our 9-dimensional conscious awareness. And they did this by erecting currency systems, educating all to believe that gold ore, paper money, must be had to survive within your newly reincarnated into avatar. This was biblical. This is where the Bible tells you about idolatry programming. They done this to centralize and hijack all people's true power. After getting us all to stop trading with each other, doing that trading under the auspice that we were viewing one another as high vibrational electromagnetic infinite reflections of each other. They, with centralized power by our transgenerational delusion, okay, and our faith in misidentity, our faith in the dollar having value and greater power than our electromagnetic manifest potential, which is, of course, activated by our thoughts. The Bible tells you that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Well, when you consider words, you can only consider those words by your thoughts. And, of course, by our belief that the dollar has power, we now, of course, have faith in that dollar that is emblazed with the eye of enlightenment, if you will, that's in the center of your dollar bill. That eye with it looks like there's a light shining around it. But that light is low vibrational electromagnetic potential. It shouldn't have any energy signal going around that eye, as a matter of fact, because there is nothing but death when you vibrate with low vibrational electromagnetic potential, as the low vibrational aspect of the Yang Conscious Collective, who are presently participating in further degrading our conscious awareness by influencing us to vote for this man or this girl, because they're going to make sure that you pay lower taxes on food that you shouldn't have to even pay for. I mean, do you see squirrels, rattlesnakes, birds, any animals running around trading pieces of paper off to pull an apple off of a tree? This is insane. But the low vibrational aspect of the Yang Conscious Collective, Jewish collective, that's presently working in black targeted media, the Black Star networks, they do not care about how diabolical your present existence is by your own misidentity and conscious dysfunction. And with the help of the Gentile conscious collectives who fund them, they are okay with seeing you all be destroyed. And this is why maintaining my connection to the highest division of our authentic Trinity is something I will not give up on. And as I said, I will not let you down. Now, it's getting a little dark out here. I'm about 10 minutes away from 1 hour. And I want to try to finish reading the rest of this to you. Okay, so that you have all that I would like you to have at this time. Okay, in regards to how we got into this situation. So after getting us all to stop trading with each other, okay, all right, and setting up the currency system, they've also set up industries. Now, of course, the Gentiles decided when they came out of the melanated nuclear family that they, as fail-safe protocol, electrochemical automated rebalancing conscious controls, they decided to take whatever industries existed, fashion industries, the gold and diamond, the industry, the agricultural industry, the sex industry, human trafficking, all of these psychosocial systems, and they, of course, decided to add on to them when they came up with the machines that, of course, were created out of the knowledge they got on the motors that we use in our cars, on our boats, and on all of the machines that we use to run our present survival model. They also, of course, added on the oil industry. And, well, they added on the oil industry, child pornography, and influenced us influenced us to go to work for them, okay, with the promise of trade-off of a piece of paper. Meanwhile, we, co-creator of our Matrix program, have from generation to generation been chasing paper to find identity and value where it cannot be found. The 1% of people in true power have been conducting intelligence pools while using money to strip our communities of intelligence, inventive people to create around us a criminal-controlled prison industrial complex, which you're all quite well aware of, okay? And this is presently where you and I all are at. The war being waged between the flesh and the spirit. Now let's talk about that. It is a war of high and low vibrational frequency-filled perception, involving the level of perception of the human, which would be the Jew, and the animal. This war is also viewed as a war between God and the devil. Presently, this war is being waged between the all-bloodline Gentile, five-sensory aware beast level of three-dimensional conscious awareness, which carry no responsibility to life above or below it, having self-contributive conscious capacity, a self-contributive conscious capacity by inversion of standard normal matrix conscious function, which exists by our electromagnetic misalignment. As I said, they are external electrochemical automated low vibrational reflections of our internal electromagnetic misalignment. Through negative energy transfer and melanated nuclear Jewish families, standard 7-sensory 9-dimensional conscious contributive capacity, to whom by negative energy transfer to the Gentile all bloodline conscious collective, on the part of eons old conditions of three-dimensional conscious awareness, giving rise to electromagnetic misalignment, also known as spiritual imbalance, by misidentity or idolatry programming, which supplants by degrading process of psycho-socioeconomic conditions yang manifest potential electromagnetic power for yin electromagnetic potential by low vibrational three-dimensional conscious awareness perception, similar in vibration to their children. The five-sensory level of electromagnetic conscious function of the beast is losing on the part, wait a minute, oh my goodness, is losing my goodness, you got to forgive me, okay? I'm going to go back and read, okay? So that you get it all right. This is a war that is presently being waged between the all-bloodline Gentile, okay, five-sensory beast level of three-dimensional conscious awareness, which carries no responsibility to life above or below it, having self-contributive conscious capacity by inversion of standard normal matrix conscious function. Through negative energy transfer and melanated nuclear Jewish families, standard 7th sensory 9-dimensional conscious contributive capacity, of course, being degraded, to whom by that degraded contributive capacity, by negative energy transfer to the Gentile all bloodline conscious collective on the part of an eons old conditioning of three-dimensional conscious awareness, gives rise to electromagnetic misalignment, also known as spiritual imbalance, by misidentity, idolatry programming, of course, which supplants by negative degrading processes of psychosocial conditioning, yang manifest electromagnetic power for yin electromagnetic potential by low vibrational three-dimensional conscious awareness perception, similar in vibration to their children, the five sensory level of electromagnetic conscious function of the beast. Okay? By this idolatry, programming is losing the war. Okay, so in other words, we're losing this war, brothers and sisters, of the Christian faith, of the Islamic faith, of all faiths, and especially the melanated community across the world. You and I are not only losing our war, but we are also losing our Matrix program. Okay? Now let me go on. I'm almost done here, and I'm at 1 hour and 31 minutes, and I want to thank you all once again for joining me. And I am trying to make sure that I read this without too many disruptions. However, I micro-write, as you can see, and sometimes it's hard for me to remember where I was. I sometimes lose myself by the lines being so close together, okay? The lust of the flesh, I want to talk about that, is a mental condition of misidentification, a negative consequence, brothers and sisters, and negative effect of idolatry programming and five sensory conditioning that disables Yang, co-creative Christ conscious, Jewish nuclear family, melanated host, nuclear families, electromagnetic frequency collective conscious capacities, standard collective conscious contribution to all lesser infinite conscious contributions. By serving their capacity to define their true electromagnetic identity, having no capacity to identify our infinite unseen identity or define its high vibrational electromagnetic value, we don't have the capacity to identify who we are in the avatar of the opposite sex, which is carrier of our yang conscious low vibrational, if female, or high vibrational, if we don't have the capacity to identify who we are, I'm going to say that again. If we don't have the capacity to identify who we are in the avatar of the opposite sex, which is carrier of our yang conscious, low vibrational, if female, or high vibrational, if male, electromagnetic manifest conscious aspect. Hence, without the capacity to define the infinite co-creative Christ conscious value of your own electromagnetic identity, remember, she is not a bitch and she is not fine. She can be fine, but before she's fine, she's the low vibrational aspect reflection of your yang conscious collective, okay? So, without having this awareness, you won't be able to have the conscious wherewithal, the will, even if you have the desire to acknowledge who they are on the inside, you won't have the capacity to acknowledge their value. This is why divorce is so high in America, all over the world. Molestation, rape, incest, human trafficking, abuse of the mind and body, and relationships seldom last long. And, of course, psychological, emotional issues flourish. We separate by negative electromagnetic attraction. It's also the reason that happens. You know, you find two men wanting to come together. I've experienced that before. You have two women wanting to come together. Neither of them know why they want to do that, but it's by the way we perceive who we are in identity. And remember, brothers and sisters, in identity, we are an electromagnetic frequency collective who is high vibrational. We have a high vibrational aspect within the male body, and we have a low vibrational aspect which is in the female body. And by the way, if you want to have an example of how it is the high vibrational aspect existing behind the male is so powerful, go back to the days of Rome where all the males were being destroyed. The firstborn male, of course, that had everything to do with the reality that us having sexual relations advances our frequency, the electromagnetic potential of our frequency. The first males, of course, they have no, whether it's the first male or the third male, it had no bearing on the reality that sexual relations advance our electromagnetic power and identity in this matrix program. Okay, now I'm just about done, and let's go ahead. So when you consider all of the issues that we have with the psychological issues, the chemical codependence, the inability to want to break away from these things, the inability to want to resist having those Diddy parties there, Brother Chris. Okay, Coach Chris. This inability comes from your negative electromagnetic attraction potential, all right? And your three-dimensional conscious awareness, five sensory stimulation conditioning, all right? Okay, and so the loss of this war. Okay, I also want to say, I have to finish this line. If you consider lust of the flesh, why it's so hard to not lust on the flesh, it's because, and it's so hard to not go crazy when a loved one passes away. I had to deal with this at the beginning of this Worldwide Paradigm Shift show when my mother, unfortunately, when her physical body was deleted earlier than it should have been. My friend recently lost a loved one of hers, and she fell apart. And it's the reason why it's so hard to resist having a emotional breakdown is because we are not emotionally whole. We are a Jew and Gentile, 99% collective of individuals who are presently being used, abused, and served like hell. And this is why both politicians who are presently attempting to tell you that they're going to lower your taxes, and those who are telling you that we're going to make America great again, they're feeding you nothing but bullshit, because they're involved in the transgenerational human conscious degrade agenda that I've been alluding to in this Worldwide Paradigm Shift clip upload, where we have segments of the Book of Life, Light, and Dark Forces, the Book of You, an audio version being, of course, read to you. And the last part of this reading, by the way, it's right there, right by my thumb. Okay, it tells you lust of others' flesh, or selfishness, and narcissism are also the reason why we are also caused by this negative electromagnetic attraction potential that we all exist by. Okay? The loss of this spiritual war, going back to the war between the flesh and the spirit, okay, is compounded by the Gentile system of law, psycho-socioeconomic, religious, and physical sciences, indoctrination, and machine conditioning by these three-dimensional, five-sensory stimulation constructs and psychological conditioners, and our belief that we're lost in space, that we come from and evolved out of apes. While the law wants us to believe it's in place to protect our peace, its real purpose is to protect the conscious or the conspiracy to degrade yang conscious electromagnetic manifest potential for negative energy transfer to the low vibrational aspect of the yin conscious suitor, while the high vibrational aspect of the yin conscious collective is also abused. Okay? Who is the man, not woman, of sin? That's right. The low vibrational aspect of the yin conscious collective is the man of sin. Now, he's not alone. We have to seriously look at the people in the foundational Black America, these individuals who are attempting to influence brothers and sisters over there in Africa, you brothers and sisters, to, hey, we're going to create our own economy, and the Gentiles are going to give us an opportunity to. No, they're not. Don't believe anything these brothers and sisters are saying. I have a lot more that I'd love to share with you all, but it is, of course, the end of the road for this message. I hope that you've been able to understand it. You understand the conditions by which I'm delivering all this information to you. And I apologize once again for having so much to say and with so much little space to do it, knowing that I am dealing with a moment of time where humanity is soon to be making a very serious decision that is going to totally negatively affect them. I am doing the best I can, and I once again, I hope that you understand. So, get ready. From here on out, it's all downhill for all of you individuals who have felt, for me, it was an uphill climb. Now, it's going to be an uphill climb for you and a downhill slide for me. So, for all of you, I want to thank you again. I wish all of you the best. I'm okay. All is well. And to my haters, the man of sin, and your accomplices in this man, yang, co-creative, Christ-conscious, frequency, degrade agenda, who don't like what you just heard. Carry on. Good day.